Yo, what is up, all you guys out there? The name is Taking Heat, bringing you guys a crew gameplay commentary using my Rate Spec 370Z. I do two factions missions that were actually pretty fun. It's actually pretty fun doing these off-road factions, especially since it can be quite challenging keeping the cars under control, which I lost multiple times. But besides that, it was a pretty good time. Anyways, what I'm here to talk about is obviously Need for Speed 2015 and how we got a couple leaked informations. Now, I'm gonna go over the first two quick and easy ones and then the third big one that a lot of people have been talking about. Now, the first one is the release date. Now, the release date has been hinted toward November the 3rd, and that's honestly kind of reasonable since a lot of big games normally come around during the November times, especially like COD, I believe Battlefield as well, and all other big name titles. So Need for Speed is just going to be one of the other big name titles to come out during that time, and I can't wait. So November definitely going to be a big month, just like it always is. Nextly, um, the consoles. What we've heard is that Need for Speed will be coming out to next gen, or as people might be calling it now, current gen consoles only, including the PC, obviously. And that's something that I'm actually pretty happy for because that means that the game won't be held back as much because normally when you're going to create games for last gen consoles like the PS3 and Xbox 360 and the Wii, um there are some things that you can't really do because the last gen consoles won't be able to handle it as much, or they might just take some of the features out of next gen consoles and I mean off of previous gen consoles and have it just for next gen only, and that would make a lot of the uh, last gen consoles pretty upset. So I'm pretty happy though that they are just making this and a next gen and PC exclusiveness because now not only are all the features that they would actually want to be put in can be put in, now they also have more production time, so they don't have to worry about porting and stuff to previous gen and all that mess. Now, the topic that everyone's been talking about is Need for Speed being always online. And this is something that I'm actually not surprised about because of the crew. And I know these are two different, totally different games, but there are still racing games, and the crew, the crew is something that a lot of Need for Speed fans wanted. A lot of Need for Speed fans really wanted something like the crew, customization, a a large map, and a good story. Some of the things that a lot of people couldn't get in Need for Speed anymore. And I think Need for Speed might slightly be getting their inspirations from multiple other games that many people have pretty much gone to and love, and the crew being one of them. So, following up their always online thing, it's actually something that has always been a thing. Maybe not for Need for Speed as a whole. I believe they did have offline modes, but EA has done an always online thing, which kind of worries me because their always online one was SimCity. And when that came out, that thing was just horrible. The servers kept on crashing, people kept on getting kicked out and stuff, and people said that was a bad experience for the first couple days, maybe even weeks. So if the same thing were to happen in Need for Speed 2015, I think a lot of people would be pretty damn upset. But looking at things, I believe EA is really learning from their mistakes. EA has been trying to turn things around a lot recently, and Need for Speed is one of them. I mean, look, Need for Speed 2015, the reboot, pretty much, is so far having everything we have been begging for the past, I don't know how many Need for Speeds now. And now that they finally listened, they finally learn from their mistakes, they're finally giving us what we wanted. And I believe the always online thing, they heard our complaints about the problems that were going on with the always online, and seeing the success other games like The Crew have done, I think that they've kind of got an idea of what to do to make this a success. Now, one of the reasons why The Crew was so successful with their always online thing was because of the amount of betas they had. It felt like almost every month or every month or two, The Crew was being released with another beta. And one of the reasons for that was just so they can understand the trafficking that their game would be getting, because a lot of people, well, a lot of games have always had their online crashes or server crashes. For instance, GTA Online, once that had an online thing, that thing was broken for so long, and it was very, very famous for that. The moment you got on, it took you forever for it to finally start working, and a lot of people just hated it and kept on bashing Rockstar for that. But I think one of the reasons for that is because they just weren't prepared. Even though they got all this money coming in, they just weren't prepared for it. And that's one of the problems a lot of these companies are having, is they're not prepared for the traffic to be coming in. Whereas The Crew, they were smart about it and actually threw out betas so they can get an idea of what to prepare for. EA, unfortunately, they haven't done it. At least I don't think that there's going to be any betas coming out for the Need for Speed. I think they're just going to release it right away. And knowing that, it kind of does make things a little iffy. It makes you feel like maybe I shouldn't really buy the game day one. Maybe give it some time for them to finally get things sorted. But in all honesty, I'm still gonna buy it day one just because I've been hyped up for an Underground 3 style game for years. It's actually one of the reasons why I stopped playing Need for Speed because they went away from that. So I'm still gonna get it day one, but I'm hoping that EA knows what they're doing, and I hope that they'll be very prepared for this because I really think that if their thing crashes, a lot of people are gonna stray away from it right away. So this has been the three recent news that have been coming out. I'll definitely be doing more once we get more information on the game. And yeah, till next time, this has been your boy taking heat, and I am out. Peace.